We made a video about how to talk to a defensive partner, and a lot of the comments were like, don't try to talk to a defensive partner, just leave. And I understand that sentiment, that if somebody is unreasonable and they live in their wounds permanently, you're not going to be able to get them into accountability. But what's more likely is that both people in a relationship are going to become defensive from time to time. And accepting that, acceptance is part of having a healthy relationship, is knowing that these wounds are going to come up. So how do you healthily handle them and navigate when your partner is triggered, when they're getting defensive?
Yeah, so this chart is a chart of basically showing everything that could come up in your relationship, essentially, because every problem is within these core wounds. And so the real goal of a relationship is not to think that you're never going to have this. The goal of the relationship is that these are going to come up, and then you're going to work through them together. And that's the whole point. And that's what's going to create the bond. That's what's going to create the lasting relationship. That's what's going to make it work long term, is that you overcome these things together and you work through them. But this unrealistic expectation that if any of these wounded behaviors come up, or any of this defensiveness, or any of this like triggered behavior, that's like a red flag, and like, oh no. There's a huge caveat there. You should actually expect that people are going to have their shadow sides come out, their wounds come out, because you're not even in a real relationship if they don't. It's your human nature, and it's part of your upbringing, it's part of your life. Everybody's had some sort of wound or some sort of unloving experience in their life. And so these things are going to come out when our partner says or does something just right that triggers it. And so the goal, though, is, do they live in this? Is it unreconcilable? Do they just completely are they consumed in it? Does it just go in a vicious cycle? Or is there the ability to talk about it, reflect on it, using the theme of accountability?
So this chart breaks the relationship into a couple different sections here. So this karmic couple section of, attack, defend. You can live here permanently, or you can actually be living here most of the time, where you're, being able to work through things. You're in accountability.
You're collaborating.
And then sometimes you get triggered and boom, you feel violated and you're angry, or you're overwhelmed and you shut down, or you feel judged and you get defensive. These things can come up from time to time. So the goal of this book is actually, what do you do when that happens? How do you identify it as the individual who's triggered? How does your partner identify it? And how can you have a strategy to healthily navigate these things and ideally, hopefully heal and get to this place of like happiness, freedom, and love together?
And as you work through those things, then these higher themes that are more peaceful, right? Like literally bring relief, and the like ecstasy, literally like the bliss of being in love together, those become the more natural, and these become super rare.